Welcome back to another NHL video. NHL 23 is right around the corner. The NHL season is right around the corner. It's been a couple days, maybe a week or so since I posted, so I got to get back to that grind. But what better video is to come back to than the Toronto Maple Leafs, always in the news, coming out and saying they're testing Mitch Marner as a defenseman in this upcoming regular season. And this is not on the power play. This is just in general, 5-on-5. You're going to have Mitch Marner playing in the back end with Morgan Riley. They've been doing some test reps. So I thought it would be an absolute great time to throw Mitch Marner back on defense, simulate a couple seasons with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and see how it goes. Obviously, Morgan Riley is a pretty good player, so I think this should actually work out really well. He shoots right. I have him on the right side. Do I want to put him... Actually, can I get him on the left side? Let me get him on the left side so I can get the one-timer. He doesn't shoot much. He's much more of a playmaker, but leave it to the Toronto Maple Leafs to come out with these outrageous news article. I mean, is there a chance he doesn't play defense at all? Yes, 100%. But for the sake of the video, let's just pretend he plays a couple minutes per game back on the back end. It definitely will help them offensively. Defensively, I'm not saying he's a bad defensive player by any stretch of the imagination. I actually really like Mitch Marner, one of my favorite players on the team. But I do have a bone to pick with these damn Toronto Maple Leafs, forcing my boy Jason Spezza into retirement, 5 points away from 1,000 points. 5 points. Just sign him for 1 year, let him get his 5 points, and then he'll retire out of your head. And he's the best player in the playoffs so far, just saying. But enough ranting there as a big Jason Spezza fan, you know. I gotta support my boy here. But let's look at these Toronto Maple Leafs for this simulation here with Mitch Marner leaving that first line. We got Willie Nee, first line left wing, 87 overall. Austin Matthews, arguably any top 4 in the NHL easily. Top 4, I think. You got Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Nathan McKinnon, Austin Matthews. You choose the order. Personally, I think I'd go Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Austin Matthews, Leon Draisaitl. Personally, that's kind of how I think I would go. But of course, Dynamite Shaw, one of the league's best, eventually going to leave Toronto and go to Arizona. We all know this. Hopefully, they have some more fans in their arena when they do that. And finally, on the right side, the 26-year-old, almost Rookie of the Year. Somehow, he was nominated for this award, even though I'm seeing 1 year there, 1 year there, AHL all there. But who knows? There should be an age limit. What do you think about that? Should there be an age limit when it comes to the Calder trophy? I think ended up winning, was it Lucas Raymond or Trevor Zegras? I think it was Lucas Raymond. Oh, no, it was Mortiz Seider. What am I saying? It was Mortiz Seider who won it this year, and I think he deserved it. But Michael Bunting, 85 overall, first line right wing, playing where Mitch Marner would normally play. Second line, we got Pierre Engvall playing on that left side, 6'5", 216, 215. Honestly, a big boy. I'm not a big fan of him personally, but that's because he's stealing ice time from my boy Jason Spezza. In the middle, 85 overall, John Tavares. Pretty low. I know he hasn't been an absolute superstar for you guys, but still hovering around a point per game every year he's been on the Leafs. So I think that's a little bit low of an overall, but he is getting a little bit older. And then on the right side, we have Alexander Kerfoot, 27 years old, 5'10", 181, a really fast electric player. Third line, Cal Yarncroke, going to be playing on that left side at 83 overall. Nicholas Abe Kubel, who dropped the Stanley Cup in last year's celebration. So don't worry, Leafs fans, he won't be dropping the Stanley Cup because he will not be touching it for your team. And then we have Joey Anderson playing that third line to round out there. Fourth line, we got some toughness. Kyle Clifford, 6'2", 212. I mean, yeah, he's always been an absolute menace, 78 overall. David Kampf, I hate this guy. I think he's absolutely terrible. Side note. And then Wayne the Train Simmons had some really good years in Philly. Hasn't really been that good recently, but he had some great years in Philly. 60 points, 50 points, 60 points, 54 points. Still not the greatest there, but he kind of went around the league. Philly, Nashville, New Jersey, Buffalo. Poor guy went Buffalo, then Toronto. Hasn't been too good for the Leafs here, but still sticking around. And then defensively, of course, we got the defensive superstar. Do you think he's going to win the Norris here? I wonder. If he played half the year as a defenseman in real life. Could he win the Norris? Technically, he was a defenseman. I don't think it would work, though. Morgan Riley on that right side. Jake Muzzin, yeah, we've talked about Morgan Riley. Jake Muzzin, one of the best shutdown defensemen on the Toronto Leafs, actually the best shutdown defenseman. TJ Brody, a solid defenseman for the Leafs as well. A little bit older, this core here, though. And then we got Rasmus Sandin, their young and upcoming defender. And then, of course, Mark Giordano, who signed a very, very team-friendly deal to try winning a Stanley Cup with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Is it going to happen? I won't say anything. Special teams-wise, we got to make sure that Mitch Marner's actually on the point here. Matthews, you can switch with Marner. Power play, again, where is Marner? Marner, you're going on the point. Matthews is coming up. Matthews is left, so I'm going to throw him on the right side, though. And then penalty kill, is Marner out there? Marner's not out there, but we're actually going to throw him on the penalty kill where... Do I want to... Where Jake Muzzin? Where Giordano? I'm going to put him where Giordano is. So let's go right wing, Mitch Marner. There he is. Get him on the top pairing, too. Why not? Mitch Marner. Enjoy. Penalty kill. We'll keep him off the three-man penalty kill. And then in the shootout, where is it? Extras. Shootout. And there we go. He's in there. 4-on-4. He's playing defense. Playing defense. Sorry, guys. TJ Brody, you're not going to go up. I lied. We're gonna throw on anyone else. To be Yarncroke, sure. And Nylander can come up. No problem. And then, of course, in the cage, we got the addition, the big addition to their team, Matt Murray, 27-year-old from the Ottawa Senators, and Ilya Samsonov. So completely switching up their goaltender tandem. I would honestly prefer Samsonov to play, just because 82 overall, he might get a little bit better. But that is your roster for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So let's simulate and see how Mitch Marner does as a Toronto Maple Leaf defenseman. Maybe he's what they've been missing this whole time. Just maybe they just needed Mitch Marner, the handsome stud, to go play defense and win them a Stanley Cup. I'm going to simulate the year. I'll catch you at the end of year number 1. Actually, let's slow simulate game number 1 here. Go over here. Sim 2 regular season here. And how many points is Mitch Marner going to get? Remember, he is only playing first line defense, no forward lines at all. So it would be all defensive points. I'm going to predict they got the Montreal Canadiens in game number 1. I'm going to predict he's going to get 93 points. Only 7 goals, though. 93 points, only 7 goals. Simulating game number 1, we are on home ice in the Air Canada Centre. The Montreal Canadiens visiting the Toronto Maple Leafs. First period here, and surprise, surprise, the first player to score for the Toronto Maple Leafs is none other than one of the best goal scorers in the NHL, Austin Matthews. Second period, add 2 more, Pierre Engveld and Calle Yarncroke to make it 3-0. And third period, 5-0. Matthews gets another one, and Joey Anderson, I believe is his name, I think, gets another one. So game number 1, a shutout for the Leafs. 5-0. Matt Murray, 36 saves. John Tavares, 3 assists. Austin Matthews, 2 helpers. Did Mitch Marner get any points? Mitch Marner, 2 apples in game number 1. 1 hit. How much time on ice did he have? Is it going to tell me? Where's TOI? No time on ice? Oh, there it is. 28 minutes and 32 seconds. Okay, so Mitch Marner's going to be playing a lot this year. He will definitely be playing a lot. So 2 assists in game number 1. Anything else, 1 hit, basically. Nothing really going his way. 1 shot on goal. But that's game number 1. I'm going to simulate the rest of the season. I'll catch you guys at the end of the regular season. Are we really surprised here? You can't be surprised, right? The Toronto Maple Leafs, of course, we do make the Stanley Cup playoffs. But even with Mitch Marner on defense, the first round goes by. And once again, the Leafs are out in 7 games. This time to the the Montreal Canadiens, not the Canada Canadiens, but we tried, right? The Montreal Canadiens take out the Leafs in 7 games in the Battle of Canada there. Leading the team was Austin Matthews. How many points did I say Marner's got? I think I said 96 and 7 goals. Statistically wise, we were fantastic. 55 wins, 19 losses, 8 overtime losses, but that doesn't mean anything because the Leafs can't win a playoff game. Where is he? Mitch Marner, 73 points, 12 goals, 61 helpers. I mean, not the greatest year. I won't lie here. Not the greatest year for Mitch Marner, but playing defense, I mean, if you have a defenseman that puts up 73 points, you're going to be pretty impressed with that. Pierre Engvall, 67 points. Not expecting that. Bunting. Tavares goes over a point per game at 85 overall. Jumps up to an 87. What about Marner? Marner's still a 91. Matthews, 96. Nylander moves up to a 90 there. But plus 48 for that first line. Ooh, they lit it up. Leading the league in scoring. Let's take a look here. It was Nikita Kucherov, 120 points. Austin Matthews right behind him. Kaprizov, Sidney Crosby, Barkov, Matty Tkachuk, Alexander Ovechkin, and then Matt Zuccarello and Johnny Gaudreau. But, you know, year one, a failure. So I'm going to go take care of the offseason. I'm not going to make any crazy signings or anything like that. I'm going to keep the Toronto Maple Leafs core intact. And I'm going to do, let's do one more year. One more year and see if the Leafs can win the Stanley Cup with one more year. Year 2 is here, and I did not make any changes to the roster. I made one change, I lied, sorry, and you'll see it at the very end. It's not a big change at all, but Toronto, they needed some help, and I had to bring it in. So first time, we got Willie Nee up to a 90 overall, Matthews 96 overall. 86 maybe the first game he played. Michael Bunting, 86 overall. So keeping that first line together, they played really well last year. Second line, Pierre Engvall, John Tavares, and Nick Robinson. So yeah, Tavares jumped from an 85 to 87. Engvall up to an 86. Nick Robinson making the team for the first time. Third line, Abu Kabel, Yarncroke, and Kerfoot. A good third line, honestly, 82, 83, 82. And then Liljegren is going to be our fourth line defenseman playing on the left wing. Adam Gaudette, and then Joey Anderson. Defensively, Morgan Riley and Mitch Marner back on the D, and still at 91 overall, averaging about 30 minutes a game almost last year. But maybe we put him on the left side last time. Let's put him on the right side this time and see if that helps him out. So Mitch Marner going to be playing with Morgan Riley once again with the +3 overall. So he's up to a 94. Morgan Riley, 88. Mark Giordano actually grew from an 85 to an 86. TJ Brody will be playing with him. And then on that bottom pairing, we got Rasmus Sandin and Jake Muzzin, who has regressed just a little bit, but still good enough to crack that roster. And then, of course, he's going to be playing on the power play, playing on the point there with Matthews on his right side. But the addition to this team is we're bringing back an old face. Welcome back to the team, Mr. James Reimer. Hopefully you can win a Stanley Cup for the Toronto Maple Leafs. You were unable to do it earlier in your career. I mean, you played a couple of years in Toronto here. The most wins you ever got was 20. But this year, everything changes. Welcome back to the squad, James Reimer. Let's get into this year. And once again, we're slow simulating game number 1. Let's see what the boys can do. Hopefully we can get a Mitch Marner goal here. I know he only scored 12 last year, but from the back end, it's not the worst. He's not a big shooter. He's a big passer. So come on, Mitch Marner. Show us some greatness this year in our final season. We got a tough matchup in game number 1 this year, though. We got the Florida Panthers. Let's slow simulate this game. First period. What do we got? 2-1. Samsonov in net, but we get goals from Willie Nee and Pierre Engvall past Spencer Knight. Denisenko gets one past Samsonov. Get Reimer in the net. Second period, 2-1 still. And finally, third period here, they even it up as it's Nick Jensen, former Washington Capital. Overtime solves nothing. We're going to a shootout, and we get smashed in the shootout as Tkachuk and Sam Reinhart get one past Samsonov. James Reimer would have definitely made those saves, but that's game number 1 there. Not a great start for Marner, but let's simulate the year and see how the boys do here. They did it. They did it. It's a celebratory day. The Toronto Maple Leafs have made it past the first round, but does it really matter because they go to the second round and get swept 4-0? So you choose, Leafs fan. Would you rather lose in the first round or go to the second round and get swept? Honestly, I'd prefer probably just keep the curse the first round going than getting my hopes up, going to the second round, getting absolutely swept by the Carolina Hurricanes. Wow, not nearly as good this year. Last year we had 55 wins. This year, 45, and Austin Matthews only has 89 points. A little bit of a regressing year for us. Mitch Marner, 62 points this year compared to last year. He had 73, so even he went down a little bit. So not looking too good here. Not looking too good here if you ask me. Michael Bunting, John Tavares, another really good year. Honestly, been one of our better players. -8 though. Do not like to see that, Mr. -8. I want to see what his turnovers look like. So 113 blocks, that's nice. 64 giveaways, 22 takeaways, giving the puck away a little bit too much. But Pierre Engvall, look at that, 132 takeaways. I mean, Selke-esque. Did he win the Selke? I mean, he might have. Let's go look at the awards. Stanley Cup champions, not going to be us. Wait, did I see Presidents? Yeah, President's Trophy, Toronto Maple Leafs last year. So, I mean, we were a great regular season team. Didn't win the Art Ross. Nothing for the Hart Trophy. Nothing for the Norris. Pasternak, Krebs. Michael Bunting did win the Calder Trophy last year. Kucherov, Kyrou for the Conn Smythe. Francois for the Vezina. Robin Lehner. No, not seeing anything for us. No loves. The Selke goes to Anze Kopitar. I mean, makes sense. Ted Lindsay goes to Barkov and Kucherov. The Maurice Rocky Richard goes to Auston Matthews last year. But this year, Anders Lees wins it. That's insane. I gotta see how many points Anders Lee had. I gotta see this. That is I've never seen that happen in any of my simulations, and I've simulated a lot of damn games. He puts up 59 goals. 59 goals for Anders Lee. Wow, what a year. That must be playing with Barzal. Yeah, 79 assists. Zibanejad, Pasternak, Panarin, Ehlers. Not Ehlers. I've been watching way too much football. Shout out to Eckler. He is on my fantasy team. Patrice Bergeron, Steven Stamkos. A lot of 100-point guys and Nikita Kucherov. But none of them are ours. So what do you think, Leafs fans? Clearly the simulation didn't go too well. What do you think of the idea of Mitch Marner playing on the defensive pairing with Morgan Rielly? Obviously, it wouldn't be something full-time like this video, but he would get some more ice time out there, a little bit more offense creation, but definitely going to lack a little bit defensively. He's not a bad defensive player, but he's not a defenseman. That's what it comes down to. But let me know what you guys think of the video. Let me know what you think is going to happen with Mitch Marner. NHL season's around the corner. I'm going to predict right now your Stanley Cup champions are the Ottawa Senators. I'll catch you in the next video. Have a great day. See ya.